easily gave up.
Oh, he did. He wasn't called.
He had to submit. That's why they call it a submission. He gave up.
I did not see that gesture.
It's a very light tap. I'm not sure we're going to see another. Here's the final bout. We're going to be interviewing the winner of this fight after the when it's done.
What do I need to know about this fight?
Well, do you know either one of these fighters? I know something about each of them, but do you know these guys?
Ron, I know Jackson Galka personally. He's coming off, I believe, an 18-month sabbatical where he needed to get healthy and get back to training. And very talented fighter out of Philadelphia. Jackson Galka, very long. I believe he's 6 foot tall, or 5'11", 145-pound fighter. So,
what was his injury that he took a year and a half off?
I believe he had knee problems. I'm not quite sure. He had certain injuries he needed to take care of. But he's back, and he's excited to fight. He's back in a big way, and I'm excited to see Jackson fight again.
His last fight, Jackson Galka, was 2009. He lost a split decision, a very close loss to a 5-1 professional. So that was not a, that decision could have gone either way.
Was he professional at the time?
Yes. So he's 1-1 as a professional. And again, that last loss, very close to a guy who was 5-1 now.
How much time does he have in as a professional?
He's been fighting for 2 years.
And his opponent?
His opponent has been fighting. He's a much newer fighter to the game, Dean Lavin Jr. And I'm not sure who's just been introduced. And that was the red fighter, so that's Dean Lavin who's coming in. He's 0-1 now. He is from Virginia, so I assume he's not seen him. He had a 5-2 amateur record. He's been a pro for the last year, lost his first fight. But he lost to a guy who was undefeated, 9 straight wins. Wow. I mean, he came in against a very tough.
How was that match? Was it close?
No, it wasn't. But, so it's hard to know. Records, as Samuel Rapiza says, are made for disc jockeys, not for fighters. You can't tell anything from a record. Jackson Galka is coming in now. Sam, you've seen Jackson Galka fight.
Oh, yes, I know Jackson personally. He is very long. He is also a professional Thai fighter, too. He's a professional Thai kickboxer. Very long, very aggressive striker, very methodical also. I'm expecting something very big out of Jackson tonight. He looks very hungry, happy to be back in the fight game again.
Do you think, does Lavin have any ingredients that any training he can bring to the plate to give him an advantage? Different kinds of.
I personally do not know Dean. I know out of Virginia they produce a lot of tough guys, a lot of very aggressive fighters. They have a big martial arts following down in Virginia, but.
fight camps. Sammy can talk more clearly about them than I, but that's a fine fight camp. Being for the win.
Oh, straight right landed by Jackson Galka, coming out with the right kick. Checks the right leg kick, and he's going for the finish immediately. Those long arms are fishing in for that guillotine choke right now, Ron. I'd say look for the knees. Jackson Galka needs to soften him up.
That's Jackson Galka, white tongue, spawn hair. Oh, he's got him.
Dean Lavin's swimming that arm through. He needs to relieve the pressure off that neck, fish that right arm through. There, Jackson goes right up against the cage. And Ron, also, Jackson Galka is a collegiate wrestler from Ursinus College, also.
Oh.
Very talented wrestler.
Yes. Oh, no, it's not that's collegiate. They're Greco-Roman which is all upper body. So he's more up.
He's afraid to strike from me.
All of wrestling.
Jackson Galka softening him up against the cage with those knees right now, man.
It's hard to know. Maybe he's got weak ankles.
Yeah, they're just they're anklets. Some people feel comfortable training with them or fighting in them, and they really provide no advantage whatsoever. It's more like a psychological thing. More support, yeah. And Jackson Galka doing a wonderful job of controlling Dean Lavin up against the cage. And he's sinking that arm through for the guillotine again. He wants that choke.
He's getting under that chin.
And interesting fact, he actually calls it the Galka-tine. It's his personal guillotine that he has dubbed the Galka-tine. I'm sure it has happened, but I highly wouldn't recommend it. Especially with Keith Peterson. You're not going to get anything by on Keith Peterson without him saying. I'd look to sit down in a straight right again if I was Jackson Galka. Dean Lavin is getting reckless with those kicks.
He really is. He's also...
Looks like he's got a lot of adrenaline pumping through him.
Oh, he does. And that was actually a strong comeback by him, but he's really being dominated.
Dean Lavin, he's securing a go-go plotter right now. Jackson doing a good job hiding his head, but flexible hips is Dean Lavin. He's looking for that go-go plotter. Ron, you can't see, but his ankle is actually choking Jackson right now. Dean Lavin's ankle is actually choking Jackson.
I think that ankle brace comes in handy.
No, not really. More for kicking. It adds more support for a kick, people think, but it's really not helping him.
An interesting point, as you mentioned a number of times, Sam, a couple of minutes into a fight, guys are so smooth that it's hard to hold us. Do they have a point?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, maybe he got a little extra grip. But it also, if Jackson goes for an ankle lock on that ankle, it's going to be easier to slide out. Absolutely. So it's a double-edged sword there, Ron.
Lock up the guard, lock up the guard.
That was a good comeback. Galka is really
Turn it to him. Don't give up your back.
He's been controlling.
Turn it into it. Don't never turn away.
I'd look to elbow. I'd look to posture up, drop elbows, especially a right knee right to the midsection of Dean Lavin. Stepping over right to a mount. Beautiful job.
he's got his back now.
And this is all Jackson right now. That is sunk deep, Ron.
I can't see it.
And there's the finish right there. Jackson Galka. He's back.
He is back, isn't he? Jackson Galka moves to 2-1 as a professional. 2 wins, 1 loss, and his only loss, a very tough split decision. It could have gone either way.
And this is his first match after a year and a half.
It's about his first match after... Yeah, right, a couple years. So
that's gonna feel good.
Actually, when you get into the ring or into the cage, you may just want to ask him what his injury was, why he's been away from the game, and what was he looking for it, and what was he looking to do in this fight? He certainly dominated this fight, though.
I'm curious to know how he felt going into it after such a long time off. You know, was he nervous, excited? You know, what kind of combination of feeling him out to get ready?
All of those are legitimate questions to ask. I think Kathy Ryan. Thank you, Kathy Ryan.
And the finish right there, Ron Jackson Galka. First round rear naked choke. Taking a big hit.
I have the judges' scorecards for the main event of the evening. Referee stops. Here's a stops the bout on 4 minutes and 12 seconds. By tapped out by rear naked choke. Goes to the
Well, Jackson Galka did, as you expected. He's a terrific MMA fighter.
Ron, and I mean that time off, he obviously did the right things. You know, he worked on what he needed to work on. His striking looked crisp. His takedowns and ground looked phenomenal tonight, Ron, especially against a tough fighter. Dean Lavin.
Lavin certainly gave it his all. He came up, the only time that I thought he had any shot, he came out kicking very, very hard.
And Ron, I just want to thank David Feldman and Extreme Fighting Events and Harris Casino again and Bone Breakers for putting on, again, another great show and another great night.